Hello everyone. Have you ever studied Neville Goddard's material? I'm assuming you have, or otherwise you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video. Well, first of all, I'm from the Netherlands, so I apologize if my accent is a little strong and perhaps a little strange at times for you. If you're American, that is. I got this book here. Look what it says. Lectures, well, I think it's mirrored, but it says Lectures on Imagination. It's pretty thick, as you can see. But this is not an official book. These are lectures from Neville Goddard that I turned into a book. The ones that really stood out to me, that I love to study in my spare time and work with, of course, because that's the most important part. If we don't work with anything that we study, well, it's not going to change our lives for the better, at least. It might entertain us, that's also a thing, but we also want it to work in our benefits. Well, the purpose of this channel for me is to share some ideas with you that really help change my life for the better and that I think that can help others, but also to help people perhaps better understand some of Neville's material, because at times it can be very metaphysical and spiritual and difficult for people to perhaps grasp at first. Like they like the message that he's sharing, of course, but I see a lot of people on other people's videos that share lectures where they have some difficulty, for example, feeling the wish fulfilled, feeling as if they already have achieved what they want using their imagination, all that good stuff, right? Well, there was a lecture, and I kind of apologize here, but I know there's a lecture, and I had it in this book, but Neville said something along the lines that after he's gone, there would be other people who would share similar experiences of theirs concerning this unfoldment in consciousness, concerning their imagination, the visions they have at night. Well, I'm one of those. I have a lot of strange visions at times that sometimes make me question my sanity. But at the same time, I realize they hold very symbolic meanings concerning the power of our own consciousness. And I thought that was a very beautiful truth that he stated there, that after he would be gone, there would ultimately be other people who would sort of take the torch, so to speak, and go on and keep sharing the message from personal experiences of theirs. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do through this channel as time goes on. Because I've already written a couple lectures, books even, about the mind, about our imagination specifically, and how we can really use that to improve our lives. Because after all, if we really look at it, I think the difficulty for most of us in applying information like this is our tendency that we live through the senses alone. We're so used to also to base our thinking only on what we observe in the physical world around us right now. If I look around me right now, I see this room. I could base all my thinking according to this room, and then I would feel totally locked into this room. But I know I can also close my eyes like this, because I've practiced this a lot of times, and I can go somewhere else. And that's what Neville talked about. You can go somewhere else inside your imagination, and then you want to bring your physical self, the physical you want to bring it towards that destination where you went inside your imagination. For most people, that sounds like something really bizarre and crazy at first glance. They're like, how can that even work? Like, that makes no sense. You know, if you try to reason this out logically, it usually doesn't make any sense at all. The weird part is, though, I have seen this for myself with projects that I've done in the past. Every time I imagine a goal firsthand, I start to see it as a roadmap. I know exactly what I should be doing on the physical side of things. So in a way, I become compelled, as Neville would say as well, you become compelled to do certain things. So with this channel, for example, I build a vision. I build it in my mind, and then as I hold on to it within myself, I become compelled to do certain things. Things that I would otherwise not do if I didn't have the vision. That's the important part, to have that vision for yourself of where you want to go. So in order to make it easier for people to grasp feeling the wish fulfilled, well, or using their imagination, I would say the only thing you really need to know in life, like any wise person would say, is to know what you want. To first figure out exactly what you want. Once you know what you want, whatever it is. And that's the tricky part, because at first we might be working with a lot of limiting beliefs. We don't believe that we can get what we want, so we don't even want to think about what we really want. It's something you have to work with. I remember this like 11 years ago when I first started studying metaphysics. I asked myself that question. I couldn't answer it. It was very difficult. I was like, how do you even answer that question? It sounds like such a huge question to ask yourself, well, what do I really want? If I can have anything I want, well, what is it? Well, that's fun. That's where the fun comes in. At first it might be tricky again because of old limiting beliefs, but you can also start seeing it as a game. We are like, well, you got nothing to lose but a lot to gain. So you see it as a game to just open your mind further and further to watch what you want. Okay? So the idea with all these concepts ultimately, as far as I studied Neville, is that we're learning to direct our minds consciously and willfully. We learn to work with our imagination with conscious awareness instead of being unconscious, instead of letting all sorts of negative visions perhaps dominate our minds, having all these negative thoughts going on in our minds. Well, we want to ease ourselves into working with positive ideas. That's ultimately what this all boils down to. But as Neville said, the beautiful truth is there will be people out there who are going to share their own experiences, and I think you're one of them. If you're viewing this video, you probably already have experiences concerning what he talked about, and you might want to share that with the world. I've talked to people over the years. When they read my books, for example, they would tell me, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to write books, Reneel, but I don't know how. And I would just tell them, you know, the way I do it is to have a clear vision again. The vision becomes the roadmap. So whatever you want to do, you get it clear inside your mind first, and then you start to act physically according to what the imaginary vision tells you that you should be doing. And you don't stand in the way at all. You don't let your reasoning mind, indeed, you don't want to let the reasoning mind interfere with that. By being like, well, should you really do this? Should I really do that? You're like, no, I'm going to do it because this is what I want. This is the vision. This is my vision. This is my dream. I see it in my mind. And that's what I'm going to go for. And over time, it's going to get better and better and better. I can say that because I can feel it. So I already have the visions. I only know it takes a certain amount of time to make them happen. But this all came about after 11 years of studying metaphysics in my own life. Perhaps you just started studying it. Well, then I hope you follow me along with this journey, because it can probably benefit you as well. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm not going to be sharing nonsense on this channel. I'm going to share everything based on my own personal experience, or I'll make it clear that it's based on somebody else's lectures at times. But it's so important. This sort of information from Neville Goddard and other wise teachers and philosophers, mystics, whatever you want to call them, it's so important, because without this knowledge, we can't really enjoy life at all. You might say, well, I can enjoy it even before I enjoy life even before I knew about these things. But once you learn about this stuff, you know, you realize it could have always been better, but I never knew, and now I do. So I'm going to make it better, and together we can make it happen. Anyways, this is also sort of like an introduction video to this channel for new viewers. So there wasn't a lot being said other than the beautiful truth that Neville said. I'll repeat it again, is if I'm gone, well, others will carry the torch, right? And that's exactly what I'll be doing, and I hope you're going to do the same. Create your own dreams, achieve your own goals, and then share what you've learned with the world in your own way. That's the beauty of this all. And that's how we raise the consciousness of humanity itself to a higher and higher level. And ultimately, that's what's going to improve the world, man. That's how we're going to make everything a lot better for everyone. Well, with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. If anybody ever stumbles upon it, it might take a while, I know. But I already had a YouTube channel in the past, so I'm pretty used to talking to a camera by now. Anyways, I'll talk to you later.